Hey friends, I'm gonna do a little video on this. I got the front page of the Washington Post, July 17th, 1969. So this here was, the beginning of all the bullshit that they teach us. Now remember, they couldn't, prove that it was a globe until they did all this with the spaceships and everything like that, right? I just wanted to point out some interesting things that I saw, just looking at, and of course I only have the front page, just the beginnings of these segments, which is too bad. I'm going to try to get the whole newspaper because now I want to know what. Anyways, what do we got? Where is it? Okay, right here. A majestic moment, then pop and banter, right? And where is it? I just thought it was interesting, like right here where it says, the history books probably will lose some of the flavor and small details. You think? They will say that on a July day in Florida, a rocket lifted 3 men off the Earth on their way to the moon. The nations of the world sent their representatives, that America's leaders in politics and business and other realms were there to watch. The future accounts will probably not mention that Vice President Spiro T. Agnew sucked on ice cubes while awaiting the episcopal event, or that a TV personality named Ed McMahon, his blue darkened sweatshirt, ordered soda, or that a French magazine passed out gay straw hats to the 105 European businessmen. I don't even know what the hell. For the record, then, the majesty of the moment belongs solely to the rocket and the 3 men inside. Like a distant spire, it sat cool and remote and silent, 3½ miles across the flat of scrub palmetto. The thousands who came to watch, the leaders of the government, and other guests saw a watershed of history in the manner of a crowd at a political picnic or a ribbon cutting for a new stretch of highway. But the rocket was brilliant. For a few brief minutes, it performed. Where is it? Here we go. People stood in awe as the mighty Saturn roared at them. The rocket's name was Saturn. When it was gone in the sky, the chatter resumed. What can you say? Said President Agnew. Anything I say after that would be anticlimactic. Yeah, where is it? It's just miraculous. Okay, here we go. He says, it's just miraculous how a team of people work in such close harmony. The space program is just the beginning. Now, this is what I wanted to look at right here. Former President Lyndon Johnson brushed past the reporters and saved his words for CBS television, with whom he recently signed a contract for the purchase of his political reminiscences. Mr. Johnson told the network it seems like 500,000 people who had worked on this program were lifting this thing. Okay, so they pay him to talk to them, and that's pretty interesting. That's, must be nice. Now look at these 3 assholes right here. Look at Collins in the middle there. He can barely contain himself. Buzz Aldrin looks like he's half cocked already. Right? This dude, he can't even contain himself. He's like laughing. They're laughing, right? We get right here, too, this little story right here. Astronauts to telecast. The Apollo astronauts are scheduled to make a 15-minute color telecast at 7:32. Where is it? Their schedule calls for them to awake at 8:02 if is needed. That wasn't it. Where is it? Oh, right here. The telecast. Where is it? Right here. At 9:45 p.m., the space agency relayed about a 16 minutes of color telecast of the Earth. It was the astronauts' first TV transmission. We've all seen that bullshit, remember? And unscheduled. It was taped 2 hours earlier. It showed the now familiar blue-green globe laced with white clouds. There we go, right here. That's the beginnings of it. It showed the now familiar blue-green globe laced with white clouds. This was the beginnings right here of all the bullshit. And there's so much bullshit right here, just in this front page. There's so much, just little stuff. I like this right here at the very end when he says, this is the big one, he went on. The one we've been working for the past 8 years. Notice the on is in parentheses. So think about it like this. This is the big one. This is the one we've been working for 8 years. Makes it sound a little more like a psyop. This is the one we've been working. Not working on. This is the one we've been working. The psyop that we've been working. You know what I mean? And then we got here. This is my favorite part. This right here seems like somebody actually had, maybe a little bit of sense of responsibility back in the day. This Agnew guy, right? He was the vice president? Agnew. Okay. Mars Next remarks by Agnew stirs row. The Senate Democratic leadership yesterday threw cold water on Vice President Agnew, suggesting that the United States should aim for a landing on Mars. Okay, the Senate. Okay. Right here. I think we have a lot of problems here on Earth that we must face up to, and when we settle those, we ought to consider future space ventures. State Majority Leader Mike Mansfield told reporters. Okay, Mike Mansfield's the one who said this. And he added, I am interested in looking to the needs of people on Earth, and particularly in this country. This should have priority. Senate Majority Whip Edward, the Apollo program is for landing a man on the moon in exploration and should take another 1 to 2 years. I think after that, the space program ought to fit into our other national priorities. I think we shouldn't be too timid to say by the end of this century we're going to put a man on Mars, and right. But there's a lot of just the beginnings of the bullshit was right here, and it's just how they get down. It's just what they like to do, right? Isn't it? Isn't that what they like to do? Oh, what's the matter? Nothing to say? Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting freedoms. Anyhow, peace to all.